Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be going through what to expect in the third trimester. So I've now done what to expect in the first trimester and second trimester, and I'm now 39 weeks, as you can see. So have a basketball size belly, or pumpkin according to my app today, and I'm due to give birth tomorrow. So I figured this is a good time to film this because we are truly at the end, and if I don't film this now, we're not filming this at all because tomorrow will be a little bit busy. So in terms of third trimester, I think now that I've gone through basically the entire journey, I can say that third trimester gives first trimester a run for its money. Third trimester is very hard, but very different from first trimester in the sense that there's so much that changes in the third trimester. For me, first trimester was worse just because I hate being nauseous. I hate being sick, and for me, if you watch the first trimester video, the throwing up was unbelievable, and so my morning sickness is really bad. If your first trimester wasn't so bad, then third trimester will be the hardest trimester for you. So diving straight in, week 27, so the first week of third trimester, acid reflux hit with the fiery vengeance. So I'd never experienced acid reflux before. It's not something I've ever had or thought I would experience. And I'm a pretty basic eater, so I always thought it was associated with what you eat. It's not. Pregnancy, you just get it. And so basically, as the baby started to push like more in my rib cage area, I don't know, my stomach acid, I guess, gets pushed up or whatever the body mechanism is, and I just started getting heartburn pretty much without fail every single night. So I had to take Gaviscon tablets each night for acid reflux to stop the like burning, like it's acid, so it burns as it comes up, and try not to ignore it, because I tried to do that and thought if I just kept swallowing it would maybe go away. It doesn't. It will burn your throat and then you can throw it up. So I was trying to avoid taking the Gaviscon tablets because I just didn't want to take medication. But abandoned that after I realized I could burn my throat with the acid reflux. So that's a bit of extra information, but just warning you, acid reflux, definitely no joke. Get the tablets. They're safe to take during pregnancy, but always double check whichever brand you're using. And those were a lifesaver for me. So I'd take a couple of those each night because for me, pretty much without fail, around 9 p.m. To 10 p.m. each night, it would just, rage. And I would have to basically either wait for it to die down, which it would die down between 10 a.m. and 2 a.m. 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And so I'd have like those 4 hours where the acid reflux was bad, and then I could finally go to sleep. It got better as we progressed through the third trimester, and so the past couple weeks I've only had to take it every now and then. I had to take it last night, but the first part of third trimester was definitely acid reflux theme. Week 28 is when I started noticing like swelling, so definitely keep an eye on your footwear and stuff like that in third trimester, because as you gain the crazy weight, which grows really fast in third trimester, you can get what's called plantar fasciitis. So that's what I got. Plantar fasciitis is where basically you piss off your foot and make your foot very angry, and it kind of feels like you've broken something. And so I had to get a compression sock specifically for plantar fasciitis to basically ease the pain. I was limping around and I thought I'd broken something in my foot, but it's plantar fasciitis, and so that was week 28 for me. So the swelling, between the swelling of your foot, so like it got wider and fatter because all the fluid retention from the weight of the baby. Between the swelling and the extra weight on my arch, it makes your ligaments in your foot angry, and so I got plantar fasciitis. Week 29, I started noticing the fatigue from first trimester started coming back, and that starts coming back each week worse and worse. So if you thought you were tired in first trimester, it's like that only 10 times worse in third trimester, because not only are you tired, you're carrying around this like bowling ball constantly. So for me, first and second trimester wasn't really showing that much, but third trimester, pretty much like the app that I have says, you pretty much gain half a kilo every single week, which was completely true for me. So pretty much all of my weight, so I started off my journey of this at 57 kilos, and by the end, which is today basically, since I'm giving birth tomorrow, I'm at 71. And I'd say about almost maybe 8 of the kilos were all gained in the third trimester. So it was pretty intense. Like, I think I started third trimester, I'd have to double check my notes, but I'm pretty sure I started third trimester around like 61 to 63 kilos ish. So it was intense weight gain in third trimester. Weight gain as recommended, but it goes really fast, and it's really kind of shocking how fast you grow. Week 30, I started having Braxton Hicks contractions. So they're obviously not real contractions like when you actually give birth, but basically you feel like tightening from like kind of like the top of your belly and down along the sides, and just feels like your belly is tightening and then releasing. It hurts. It kind of feels like period pain, but not just in your pelvic area. For me, they weren't terrible. They're not fun, but they weren't terrible. They were definitely like period pain, where nobody likes that, but it's manageable. And I didn't have it too much. I'd say if I overexerted myself, that's kind of when I tend to feel that a little bit more. So that was fun, week 30. Week 31, I started noticing, just like in first trimester, that my breasts started hurting really badly. And so they've been sore throughout the pregnancy. It started for me in first trimester, but you can feel them, I wouldn't even say filling up, but they just felt like rock hard, and like they needed to be massaged. And my midwife told me to start massaging them and get them ready for basically when they might start leaking. And so in terms of leaking, you'd be leaking colostrum. Colostrum is what the baby drinks basically for the first like half a week to a week of its life. That's what you're producing. It's like this golden liquid. And you can get syringes to basically, you just take the syringe and then you kind of catch the gold colostrum that you're leaking, if you can. It's not mandatory. You don't have to try and collect your colostrum, and not everyone leaks before they're pregnant. I was leaking, but honestly, because I would only leak like maybe half a milliliter at a time, it wasn't really worth catching. I did try, but because like 1 milliliter syringes is what I had, and I can only ever fill up like a quarter or half of it, I haven't bothered, just because I went to a breastfeeding class that just said like, look, leave your boobs alone. You don't have to do it. There's no mandatory requirement to collect it if you can't, because there's no need to, make your boobs hurt for no reason or stress yourself out. So rather than stress myself out, I just stopped trying to get it out. But it was helpful in terms of trying to learn where to put my hands to make the colostrum come out. So it's just good to get to know your body, basically, in terms of what to expect if you might be breastfeeding. So we'll see what happens in the next few days, if I'll be breastfeeding or not. Obviously, it's completely up to my body whether or not it produces milk or not, and if I produce enough colostrum, we shall see. Week 32, the weight gain really started to get to me. So I had thought that for me, I would keep working until week like 36. By week 32, it was becoming clear to me that I was having trouble walking around. I was short of breath. My foot hurt from the plantar fasciitis. And I had a pregnancy belt that was like trying to help me, hold off the weight off my pelvic area, but it was just starting to hurt really badly. And by week 33, I started experiencing lightning crotch. Lightning crotch is not fun. Lightning crotch, like, it basically sounds exactly like the name. It just sounds like a lightning bolt goes through your crotch. Like it's so hard to ignore that kind of pain. So it's, again, when I say pain, it's not like someone stabbing you. It definitely doesn't feel fun. But it's an experience that I don't enjoy. And basically every time my body felt like I was overexerting myself, I would have lightning crotch. So if I walked around too much, or if I lifted too much, or if I was moving around just period too much, it was just lightning crotch was like my body's go-to response to make me stop moving. So that was fun. Because by week 33 lightning crotch was really starting to prevent me from moving around, week 34 is when I stopped work. So a couple weeks before I planned on leaving, but it ended up being a good thing for me, because honestly, I don't know how I would have kept working. And I'm quite lucky I could leave early because it was just slightly unbearable. So week 34, because again, I hadn't anticipated that I would be leaving work so early, I ended up taking all the pregnancy classes that week. So I really recommend for the pregnancy classes doing breastfeeding classes if you want to breastfeed and want to get some tips and tricks, and antenatal classes, just because I have been meeting with midwives and counselors to basically help mentally prepare for at least the first 6 weeks in terms of sleep deprivation and feeding and what to do and all these things. And I found the classes really helpful. And because it's, for me, I'm having the baby in September 2020. We're still in the pandemic. Everything is closed. So all the classes I went to were online. So I could do them in my own time, and for me, for free, because a lot of places are offering classes for free during the pandemic, which I found really useful. So I did tummy talks with midwife Kath. So if you want to Google that, I highly recommend her classes. I actually really like them. And so much so that I made my husband watch them a second time with me. So it was really helpful, and that's what I did week 34. Week 35, I was starting to become bedridden because I couldn't really move. So I just basically finished setting up the nursery all around me, and was very hot. So sweating was unbelievable. I'm very lucky that I'm having this baby during winter time in Australia, because your body goes up an extra degree or two during this last trimester in particular. And man, I'm overheated, and it's winter time. So I'm wearing a dress and it's like 10 degrees outside. And so normally I'd be quite cold, but I'm boiling. I'm really hot. So for those moms who are having babies in the summertime, air conditioning. You're going to need air conditioning. Week 36. Week 36, the baby was basically sitting on my bladder by then. And so I had to go to the bathroom like every 5 seconds. A lot of people worry that they have UTIs. Trust me when I say you'll know you have a UTI or not, because I've had UTIs. It feels like you're peeing like rocks. Like, it's painful. Frequent peeing does not necessarily mean you have a UTI. So if anyone's worried about that, no, don't worry about that. Frequent peeing is just part of third trimester. It wouldn't be unusual for me to go like every hour, basically, because the baby is completely sitting on your bladder. And so you'll, go like that much every single time. It's extremely frustrating, and also results in less sleep because you aren't getting up so often. But I just thought of it as practice for when baby comes, because quite frankly, like, you'll be up all the time anyways. And that was my practice week starting from week 36. So month 9, I think, was the hardest part of the pregnancy. Week 37, it's basically just becomes a waiting game. So a lot of people, you can obviously give birth at any time, but week 37 is when, like, a lot of the apps will tell you that, pretty much week 37 onwards, baby, in terms of development, pretty much most of it is done. It's just baby fattening up really thereafter. So, and again, I'm not a doctor. This is just what I've been told by my obstetrician. So week 37 onwards, we were pretty much just ready to go. to the hospital at any moment. So we got like our, bags packed for the hospital and whatnot. And week 37, I also did my photo shoot, maternity photo shoot. I really recommend doing it between like week 35 and 37, because, well, anything after week 37, you're basically risking that you're going to go into labor. And week 37 onwards, it pretty much is near impossible to get anything productive done. You're so tired. You're so uncomfortable. I'm glad that I did it right at the beginning of week 37 or end of week 36, because anything after that would have been unbearable, and anything too much before that I wouldn't have had as much of a bump. So like I said, month 9 you're definitely showing, and so I know a lot of people tend to do it between week 35 and 37 because you have a sizable bump but you can still get around. So I definitely will share my maternity photos on my Instagram, so if you want to check me out on Kavina Sparkles, you'll see them there. I absolutely love doing them. Very sparkly, very Kavina-esque, and definitely recommend taking a look at Pinterest to see what kind of thing you like, and then tell your photographer, because that's what I did. And my photographer and I had a blast. We did like the milk bath picture with the flowers in the bathtub. We did, where you're wearing like basically like just fabric, and all you can really see is your belly. We did a few poses of me and my husband with me wearing ball gowns, sparkly ball gowns, and he was holding my belly. Like it was very, very romantic actually. It was a really nice experience. And that was a gift from my friends at my baby shower. So they bought me a photo shoot for maternity and newborn. So if anyone's looking for ideas for gifts for expecting mothers, that's what I was given, and I love that gift. It was so thoughtful, and it's honestly, it's a time you'll never have for me potentially again. So I'm really glad to have that memory captured. Week 38 and 39. So week 39 is what I am now. Week 38 and 39, you're pretty much just trying to breathe. Like I can't even explain to you, like so if you look at my tummy, like I can feel baby's feet here. Like this is my rib cage. So baby's feet like constantly are poking out here and here. He's completely turned around, so his head is down here, so he's ready to exit. But like I can feel like this always like shifting because his bum is here, and so he'll constantly be shifting around, and you can see like little lumps come out. And because this is my rib cage though, like it's tough to breathe, and so you get tired very quickly. I pretty much spend my days lying down and just getting things ready, and tomorrow is a big day for us. So I will let you know how birth goes, and keep you posted on what life after baby is like. So thank you so much for watching. That was very ominous. It was like a thunder lightning storm right at that moment. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, this is just my experience of pregnancy during the pandemic, and I'm not a doctor, don't go by anything I say, but this is just my experience, and just to give you an idea of what to expect, because there's a lot going on, and it's easier to hear from someone else sometimes of what to expect. So I will end this here, and hopefully my next video will be with a little bubby. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!